Have you ever come up with a perfect idea for a drawing and then cried because you couldn't find the right reference? Me too. Starting from today, you will not ever have to worry about this again, because I'm gonna tell you how you can get poses like these for free in like half an hour. Hi, this is Dory. How are you doing? This is a new art channel I'm posting every week, so sign up for tips and tricks and funsies. The main character of today's video is Blenda, not sponsored. Don't run away, please. I promise it's gonna be very easy and I'm gonna guide you through the whole process. But if you are about to click away, let me just tell you 3 reasons why you want to do it. First of all, you have a full control of the pose you're setting, and you can even choose the model. 2. You can set your camera. You can try all of the weird perspectives. 3. You can set up your lighting references as well. You can put 3 lights or 2 lights on one light and put them whenever you want, so you will have a clear reference of the mood. Okay, the overall process is very simple. You just need to get yourself Blender installed and find a model you like. I'm using these. They are free to download. So I will put the links into the description box, and let's launch Blender. So once you have everything set up, we are ready to go and jump in Blender. You can click here General and we will be greeted with our beautiful cube. We can go ahead and delete that. Here in the corner you will see every shortcut that I use. So if I zoom in or scroll, you will see that. So I will not be mentioning any shortcuts, just look in here. So you want to go File, Import, and OBJ, or whatever format you download it. For me it's OBJ, so I need to go and find it now. And here are the 3 files that I downloaded. I will not be doing any teeth or eyes, we will do a very simple rig. So she's imported. And as you can see, she's very huge. So the first things we want to do is scale her down. And we're gonna make her really small. When you click on her, here on the item, you will see how tall she actually is. And she's still quite tall, 8 meters. We will bring her to 180, around 180. Now, very important, you want to apply the scale, so just go Ctrl A and apply all transforms, and that way it's all right. First things first, we could actually apply our rigify to this. However, if we do this, she will actually have her armpits probably be a little bit deformed, so we want to fix that first. You can totally skip this step, however, if you're just doing this for the sake of referencing and you don't really care that there's gonna be some extra skin in here, you can skip this. I will put the timestamp so you can do it, but for the ones of you that want to fix it, we'll just do it really quickly. So we want to go edit mode, and in edit mode you want to toggle the X-ray, and we're gonna go tap 1 on the numpad, and we will see her in our front view. This view is the most convenient for this. So now what we want to do, we will basically delete the half of her. So you want to actually go in and just make sure you're on the vertices. You want to select half of her and press X and delete our vertices. Don't worry about it, it's all fine. Just go in here as well and see if we deleted everything. Here in the face I still have some vertices, so I'm gonna delete them. And if you have some vertices that go over the blue line, but if you delete them the whole nose disappears, just bring them back. And you don't have to be very careful with this. We will actually go ahead and select all of our whole lady and just move her a tiny bit. Okay, and now we can go and press here on modifier and apply mirror modifier. You can see another half of her appeared, and now we will have to fill in all the gaps in here. So we will just press clipping in the mirror modifier, and we will select all of the vertices and we will move them to the center. And here as well. And by doing so, the vertices should automatically join with each other from the left side and from the right side. So when we actually apply the mirror modifier later on, we won't have any gaps in our mesh. And the head. And that's pretty much it. Why we did this is because when we will modify one side, the other side will do exactly the same. You can see really bad selection, but works. So now we can select the arm and just make sure you select everything in here and select her, also her shoulder, her arm. You don't have to worry too much about this part. Just remember to select all of the shoulder. The mesh will deform anyway, so we will fix this later really easily. Now you wanna go and move this away and press on rotation and rotate it to around 90 degrees and just place it around where the arm should be. Now we can go ahead and deselect this. Now you can see what will happen if we will apply a rigify to it. Rigify will also not recognize and deselect those meshes, and it will pretty much join the armpit. So we are just doing that to have a cleaner looking model. So now we can go ahead and click here on sculpt mode, and we will take this smooth tool and we will go over and we will go over the areas and yeah, this is just to distribute the mesh. And now you can see her arms looking better, but we can still fix it with a grab tool, and we can go ahead and just pull this up. You can modify the strength here and the radius. So now we have her, and that's pretty much it. That took us like, what, 5 minutes? Okay, so now we're actually ready to apply rigify. We're gonna go to object mode, and now you're gonna press add and add armature and human meta rig. Click on that, and you see the scale is a little bit off, so we're gonna bring the scale down by pressing S and just do it as close as you can, but don't worry too much about it. And don't worry too much about it because we're gonna be obviously adjusting all of the bones to the right places. Now you can see, or you can't see actually, the rig. So now to fix that, we want to click on the meta rig, have the meta rig selected, go to this orange square and select view per display, I believe. And here in front, and here in show, just press front. So now it's always in front in the viewport, so we have a better control. And now this might look scary, but don't worry, we'll not be doing any rigging on the face. So we will actually be deleting all of those bones because we don't need them. Okay, so now when we have this, if you did rescale the meta rig, you want to apply that. So also Control A and go apply all transfers or just scale, whatever you did. I just usually apply all transforms in case I pressed something and moved something. And we will select that again, go to edit mode, and we can edit the bones. So this is pretty easy, we just have to match the bones to the mesh. So we can go and do that. Before you even touch anything, just go here in the corner on the right, on the top, and press this X. X will do is basically just mirror the armature. And now we can just go ahead and apply it. The thing that I recommend to you is that don't click on the bone and move it. It's better to drag select the bone and then move it. The reason for this is that if you just click on this, sometimes the joints can just separate and then you will have a problem because the rig will not work properly. So the first thing I want to do is just go into front mode and apply everything in the right places. It's very easy. Don't worry too much about it. Obviously you want to be precise, but don't worry too much about it. I know it can be really stressing. And then I like to go into side view and adjust these as well. Here the bone, here is the important part is that this bone needs to be at the front of the feet. This bone here has to be right behind the feet and most likely connecting to the green line. And then the other bone that's important is the head bone. So this head bone needs to be at the very top of the head. And actually this bone goes through the whole head. These are just the neck. As I said, we can delete all of that. So we're just gonna select the whole face and delete bones. And then here we have also a ear. So we're gonna go ahead and delete that. And another thing is that when you have your head bone, here is gonna be, initially it's basically hidden. So you want to make sure that you delete this bone as well. And when we have that, I will also move the... And when we have that, we can move to the hands. And with hands, I have a very easy trick to do that. You just have to go in here and select this magnet. And under here, just select the volume. The selected bone, when you move them, they're gonna snap inside the mesh. You want to most likely place the last ball at the end of the fingertip. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're ready to go to object mode. And we're gonna select the rig. We're gonna go into this little dude running, and we're gonna scroll down to generate rig and gonna press that. So all the controls are generated like that. We can hide the meta rig. So now we have to parent the rig to the body. So we're gonna click on the body and we're gonna select the meta rig, and we're gonna press Ctrl P and set parent to armature deform with automatic weights. Just do that. So that's basically it. So now we want to test it. So you have to go to here into pose mode, and we can grab some arm and see if it's moving. It's moving, it's also stretching. We'll just see if this is working. Oh yes, she's working. Yeah. 3 shortcuts that I recommend you. So basically, if you go ahead and just move everything, you know, you're gonna move the whole body, you're just gonna make some pose. Looking weird. If for example you wanna undo this and just bring it to the original position, since you rotated it, you want to press Alt R. This bone will automatically snap into the main position, the original position. So if you want to bring everything to original positions, you just need to press Alt R and Alt G, because you did grab things and you did rotate things, so you need to undo that. So if you don't want, for example, your arms to be stretching but just be natural, you want to go here to item, transform, and press the bone and just IK stretch, just bring this down. So now when you move it, your arm is gonna be working just fine. And just do it with every bone that stretches and that you don't want. And as you can see, there's a lot of bones. So for example, these the green ones we don't really need, so we can just here, if you press on them, they will just disappear. So maybe the easiest is just use the yellow ones and the red ones, and of course this one, it's a global control, so it's very useful if you want to place your character somewhere else. So the next thing we need to do is look at some tips for you guys. So now we'll just jump into speed paint and pose her in a cool pose, and I will show you the camera settings, how to render, how to set up the lights. That's the basic needs you need for referencing. So this is my pose. Obviously in some places she's gonna be deforming a little bit weirdly. For the purpose of referencing, this is good enough. And so now we can set up the camera. So I have the camera here, but if you don't, you just go add, and here you choose the camera. To move the camera, you basically, you can move it, but that's really annoying. So my favorite thing to do is just go to view lock, and press camera to view. And then when we press 0 on the notepad, we can go ahead and move the camera around, and then we can just set it up to the reference we want, right? You can also just take a screenshot. I'm just showing you in order to, because taking a screenshot will basically make a pose like this. But what's cool about the camera is that you can go actually to camera settings here and change the focal length. And what that will do if we, for example, bring this down and we zoom in, our mesh will deform and we will get this cool perspective. As you can see, it's way more dramatic. You can even do more of that, and you can really play with this. So that's what I'm showing you this method, because it allows you to really design and think about different possibilities you have. Here in the output properties, you can set the resolution. So if, for example, you want it a bit more squarish, you can do it here. So basically now to lock this screen, you're just gonna take off the camera to view and just rotate the screen, and your camera is right where it should be. So now you probably want to see what's in the camera and also modify the scene. So you're gonna go ahead and press 0. So you have your camera view here. You're gonna go to this. You're gonna pull the screen and split it. So now you have a preview here. You can zoom in it, and here you will have, you can modify and set things up. And another thing you want to do is go here to render preview, and then you want to add light. So I have one light here. You can go to the properties of that, change the power or the color. We can go and add another light, for example, another point light. I like to work with point lights the most. Just maybe from this point, and we're gonna make it some other color so it's more clear. This is very gray, so if you, for example, want to have black background, you have to go here to the world properties and bring the strength to 0. Now another thing you can do is select your model, and if you want to bring this low poly model to a smooth shape, just go into modifier and subdivision surface. Just bear in mind that this will significantly slower down the performance of your model, so whenever you will be tweaking the armature, it might take a little bit longer. If you're editing the model, just turn this off in here, just leave this camera on. To render this, you just have to go here, click render image, and you have your pose. And to save that, you just have to save as, and that's it. So thank you so much guys for watching. I know this was quite lengthy. I was trying to make this as short as possible, but well, I tried to give you justice and give you as many tips as possible. So if you have any questions regarding this, just please write the comments and I will answer them, because obviously I might have missed something. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment down below that you liked it, or ask me a question, or do both. And I will see you the next week. Bye bye.